Welcome, fellow adventurers, to the wild and wicked realm of HAWKED, where the stakes are high, treasures beckon with seductive whispers, and the bugs are as numerous as the players trying to nab those sweet, sweet artifacts. The mechanics of HAWKED promises an intoxicating blend of thrills, spills, and more surprises than a magician's hat at a bachelor party. And let's not forget the delightful addition of forced crossplay, because what's life without a little masochism, am I right?
Oh my god, I'm gonna fuck you right in the ass, you stupid-ass console player.
That's gonna be a hard pass for me. But fret not, viewer. For in this review, we're diving headfirst into the chaos of the game to discern if it's truly the proverbial treasure it has you gather, or if it's just another example of promising potential lost in a sea of server crashes and jungle of microtransaction madness. So grab your weapons, brace your loins, and let's uncover the truth behind the veil of HAWKED. But before we charge into battle, a word of warning. My journey through the tumultuous lands has been as an Xbox warrior, slashing my way through since its grand entrance onto Game Pass on February 15th. It's worth noting that PC players had a 2-month head start, leaving us console peasants scrambling, while our counterparts are already well-versed. That said, I've clawed my way into the upper echelons, proudly claiming my spot in the coveted top 1% Diamond League. Well. Welcome to the Madhouse Warriors. I'm Chihero, your guide through the delightful chaos of the gaming universe. If you're easily offended, well, you might want to grab some earmuffs. But hey, no one said gaming was for the faint-hearted, right? Prepare yourselves for a roller coaster ride of challenges and frank reviews. Smash that like button and subscribe. You're dropped into a sprawling map, armed with nothing but your wits, ready to scavenge for resources, evade lurking threats, and extract that precious loot. Sounds exhilarating and perhaps a bit familiar, doesn't it? HAWKED is like a mutated baby of Fortnite and the Indiana Jones franchise. But unlike the typical battle royale, you aren't forced to be the sole survivor to win. Instead, the goal of the game is a self-described treasure hunt to extract trinkets and artifacts, which are obtained in multiple fashions, from solving puzzles to defeating a caravan. There is no timer until the final artifact is unlocked, then all players have 5 minutes to extract. You're offered a choice to play solo or with a squad. Oddly, the duos option we're all used to seeing has been left out for no discernible reason. Every decision in this game could mean the difference between victory and a quick loss. And with random team pairings with a dash of toxic player-gamer etiquette that I've been noticing,
Chihero, what the fuck, dude?
Not having a dedicated group to run with can make a victory extremely difficult. While a developer can't control who plays a game, especially in a free-to-play scenario where there's no financial barrier to entry, it seems there should be some kind of penalty system for players who remain AFK, rage quit, or leave while the team's still alive. The amount of times I've loaded into a game only to find my 2 teammates have already left is obnoxious. I shouldn't have to say this, but if you're going to play squads, play as a fucking team. Oh, how I digress. You're only given one life. However, in squads you can be revived if killed. Like many of its counterpart games, you'll first be knocked, giving you the chance to be saved where you fell, or rather crawled. If the enemies finish you off, your untimely demise can be remedied by your squad visiting the reviving stations scattered around the map. In solos, there's a rare chance you'll acquire the ability to self-revive, though it doesn't happen often. Players are randomly spawned together throughout the map, where they must quickly find a weapon or be forced to use melee in the form of a laser-looking sword or their equipped slingshot, which are seemingly both part of a device called a traverser. This also acts as a warning system, which will blink red notifying when an enemy player is in your vicinity. In addition to the enemy players, you'll be faced against a variety of mobs, which are mostly easy to solo, but can be a big pain in the ass if you're fighting another team. Throughout the map, there will be various quests in the form of puzzles that you'll have to solve. These will reveal the correct order of symbols, known as glyphs, to unlock the Master Vault, which protects the most valuable artifact and has a painfully long unlocking time. Once you've collected an artifact or your fair share of trinkets, you can use one of the numerous extraction points around the map to make your escape. While there are only a handful of artifacts available in each round, there is a total of 21 unique artifact types, which will be yours to keep if you successfully extract that particular one. Each artifact has a special buff and can be upgraded 3 times from the uncommon base to legendary status, making them more powerful with each increase. Trinkets do nothing for you, other than being able to be sold. The higher the rarity, the more hawks, or wonderium, the in-game currency a player will receive from the sale. That's not to be confused with geocache, which is where your real-world money comes into play. But I'll save that for a bit later. Jumping back into the gameplay, let's break the puzzle quests down further. Players are directed to 2 options for the current puzzle needed to unlock the corresponding glyph. These marked quests are guaranteed to give you the glyph you need. However, you'll come across plenty of other puzzles that aren't marked. You can solve them if you'd like, but the majority of the time it'll be in vain, and a duplicate glyph will be awarded. The already completed puzzles by competing teams will instantly give you a glyph, with no work on your part. And this is where my biggest complaint about the game as a whole comes into play. There's seemingly no reward or point in solving the puzzles yourself, unless you want to be the team to unlock the Master Vault. But one playstyle to the game that's quickly been adapted is just going for the other obtainable artifacts, which are much easier to obtain by killing caravans. While you're doing that, the competing teams can be left to do the labor-intensive and perhaps more volatile tasks of solving all the puzzles. Then, once the artifact has been unlocked, and there's a giant symbol pinpointing the carrier's location for the entire map, you can go after and steal that hard work from them. I can hardly blame these players, as solving the puzzles becomes quickly redundant. And besides some annoying collection quests you may be assigned, there's very little incentive for players to complete these puzzles when they can just wait to steal the prize at the end. Which leads me to the mechanics of extracting within each round. There are numerous extraction points marked on the map, which will turn red if a team is currently extracting, stripping any anonymity. Players can carry a maximum of 3 trinkets at a time, so it can be advantageous to extract those by visiting the portals earlier on, freeing up the ability to collect more in the late game. That said, you can also leave through the portal whenever you want, effectively ending that round for you. Or making your team a duo, if you enjoy trolling and ruining the round for others. If a team enters the extraction portal zone before the countdown for extraction is completed, the area becomes contested, and the countdown restarts, but only once the area is cleared. Players are given a total of 3 artifact slots and 2 equipment, or gear slots as they call them, which can be equipped in the lobby before each match. The gear slots are broken down into exo and ward categories. These range in survival upgrades and special attacks, which will give the carriers various advantages depending on their playing style. There's also boosters, which have to be purchased, and you'll generally lose if you don't successfully extract. Boosters are unlocked based on your loyalty level, which is upgraded by using your in-game currency from artifact and trinket sales. And each booster will also cost you, again depending on its level of its unlock. The highest and potential most important boost, unlocked at the maximum loyalty level, will show you the nearest enemy when they come into your radius. The game offers an abundant amount of weapons, from LMGs, snipers, and pistols to shotguns. These will be randomly found around the map by opening weapon chests. Each weapon will be randomly assigned a rarity with better stats. Weapons can also be purchased at vending machines located at all of the extraction portals. And let's not forget the joy of the aforementioned forced crossplay, where console players and PC elites clash in a battle of skill, or lack thereof.
Chihero, what the fuck, dude?
The developers have noted the complaints and that this will be phased out soon, but it's yet to launch as of the making of this video. However, amidst the chaos and calamity, HAWKED does manage to sprinkle in moments of genuine excitement and triumph. Whether it's outsmarting an opponent in a tense standoff or snagging that elusive artifact before the extraction beams you to safety, there's no denying the rush of satisfaction that comes with emerging victorious in this cutthroat world. Oh, did I mention you can surf? Now, let's saunter through the beautiful landscapes of the world design. Between matches, you'll find yourself aboard a submarine, the hub of operations for the ragtag crew you've aligned yourself with. The ship is a quirky concoction of vendors peddling quests and a hangout spot while you await your next adrenaline-fueled escapade. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top. A board displaying the glorious triumphs of nearby players. Well, it would be glorious if any of the darn stats were remotely accurate. As of now, it's about as reliable as a broken compass. The ship also boasts a nifty target practice area. Sure, it's a common feature in games these days, but does anyone actually use them? Perhaps it serves purpose. Unlike the other pointless pit stop you can visit, your personal quarters. It's a wasted space where you can do everything you already do from the comfort of your menu. I can't imagine anyone yearning to visit each other's rooms. Further, you can't access this area when you're loading into a match. Oh, but fear not, there's a guitar in your room you can pluck away at. The main map is divided into numerous sections, which seem to be randomly picked for each match. Welcome to the playground of the Aztec end times. In HAWKED, the world is as diverse as it is deadly. I highly commend the developers. Each area is lovingly designed and diverse. The map is large, and while you might become accustomed to certain areas, I don't foresee the ability to truly memorize every area of the map. From ancient temples to treacherous caves, from rushing streams to magic mushrooms, the stamina-boosting kind, of course. Every nook and cranny is ripe for exploration and exploitation. The world is scattered with zip lines for exploring and anchors for grappling. You'll find health recovery in the form of drums you can beat. And there's crystals to make you invisible. Fruits and tiki-themed drinks to buff your shield and health, which I beg them to spike with a little rum to help overcome the headache of an inevitable camper. You'll also need to pay close attention to the surrounding environment, as it's laden with traps. It all creates a very cohesive environment, and is perhaps my favorite element of the game as a whole. The NPCs are interesting in design. I guess I'd categorize them mainly as monsters, but the developers call them disciples. There's big swamp reptile tanks, ranged, spitting mobs, and shroud baskers, a random little guy that will pop up unexpectedly. But by far the most annoying is a creature that throws a sticky substance at you, which is quite literally impossible to dodge or avoid, and makes it hard to move. These are beyond annoying and lead me to more of my criticisms. Despite its allure, HAWKED's world design isn't also without its flaws, but I suppose nobody said the apocalypse was going to be perfect. Overall, the map is completely explorable, but I've witnessed and personally befallen to glitches where you'll become stuck and the only option is to quit. Not all walls and environments are climbable, even ones that seemingly should be. And while cliffs and walls that are climbable are generally marked with yellow paint, that's not always the case, which can lead to confusion and a mistake in a pivotal time while attempting to escape or flank an enemy. In hindsight, my criticisms of the world are minimal and can be fixed. Just remember to watch your step. You never know what might be lurking just around the corner. But if you want to explore the world in style, it's going to cost you. Yes, this free-to-play game has plenty of tantalizing temptations within the in-game store, where your wallet goes to die a slow and painful death. Free-to-play games need to make their money to continue to develop and offset their costs. I have no problem pitching in my part, and hey, nobody said good fashion is cheap? There is no pay-to-win situation here. All of the GEO cash you're buying goes to cosmetics, which overall makes sense, besides the locker, which is a complete waste. Things become a bit more dicey, though, when considering the Battle Pass. Only with the Battle Pass can you get the majority of quests, which are needed if you want to work on ranking. Yes, the game also has quests for those unwilling to buy the Battle Pass, but I imagine the game will become quickly stale as a free player, without the full amount of objectives to work towards. There's a main quest line you're assigned, where the majority of the exposition for the game is revealed. But don't expect any Shakespearean drama or Oscar-worthy performances here. In HAWKED, the story takes a backseat to the action, serving as little more than background noise to your adventures. Sure, there may be the occasional nugget of lore or tidbit scattered throughout the game, but for the most part, you'll be too busy dodging bullets and scavenging for supplies to pay much attention. In a nutshell, Grail, the organization on the ship, has brought you into the fold of their Adventurers Guild to uncover the secrets of exile. As a hired hand, otherwise known as a renegade, it's your job to explore and bring back loot. You'll then need to offer your loot to Grail to prove you're a trustworthy ally. You'll also need to appease a glyphstone that is wrapped up within the mystery of the island. That's the gist. The story isn't very deep, and that's fine. As for the characters, well, let's just say they're about as memorable as yesterday's leftovers. There's only a handful of playable characters, and each has a very limited amount of given dialogue. At this point, I've heard enough of
Somebody's close.
and
Weapons chest nearby.
to last a lifetime. Your Grail counterparts found on the ship will leave you little interest in reading what they have to say. Maybe all games don't need deep lore, as there's still a lot of enjoyment to be had in this particular world, but it also leaves a lot to be desired. And now we're moving on to the technical tango of gaming, the performance of the game. You'd think after months of frolicking on PC, the console version would have run onto the scene with all its kinks neatly ironed out. But alas, we find ourselves tangled in a web of crashes, bugs, and enough server shenanigans to make even the most stoic gamer question their sanity. Every nook and cranny of the world is like a hidden treasure trove of glitches. Matchmaking failures? Check. Random ejections from games? You betcha. And don't even get me started on the servers, which seem to take more breaks than a burned-out office worker. Sure, the maintenance downtime is relatively short, an hour tops, but it's still enough to make you want to tear your hair out. And then there are the bugs. Oh, the bugs. From wonky hitboxes and detection that'll have you questioning your aim, to the recent invincible player bug I stumbled upon. I mean, at first I thought it was some sneaky hacker pulling a fast one, but lo and behold, in the next match, I was bestowed with the power of invincibility myself.
Chihero, what the fuck?
Somebody's close. Weapons chest nearby.
HAWKED serves up its fair share of head-scratching moments that'll have you questioning whether you accidentally stumbled into a beta test. But hey, in the wild world of gaming, sometimes you've just gotta roll with the punches and hope for a smoother ride in the next update. Here's to hoping the devs are paying attention, because nothing kills the thrill of treasure hunting quite like game-breaking bugs. So should you embark on an adventure through the Mayan wasteland of HAWKED? I'd recommend you give it a run. Despite its myriad of shortcomings, there's no denying the game gives a fresh breath of air into the battle royale genre. With a unique concept that blends survival, shooter, and treasure hunting elements, there's ample potential for the game to evolve and improve. But of course, potential is just that, potential. I'll be patiently waiting to see what future game modes will be introduced, which will desperately be needed. And also if the kinks are addressed by the developers and they'll learn from their mistakes. There's no denying the charm in this world. It's kept me coming back for more. I hope improvements can quickly be implemented so the player base doesn't prematurely dwindle. Plenty more adventures lie in wait. Opportunities knocking. Come on, don't hesitate. Why not subscribe and join me before it's too late?